Hello bookworms! Today I'm here with another news and stuff video. So you are probably aware of the current state of the United States. Take a lot of these release dates with a grain of salt because it does seem like a lot of things are getting pushed back at the moment. There have been a lot of events that have been canceled. There have been a lot of events that have been postponed, and Hollywood has been majorly affected by a lot of these things because they want to make sure that the environment is safe for the actors, so they've suspended filming of a lot of things, and that's just causing things to be delayed, which is the best decision because obviously it's most important that everyone is healthy and safe. But starting on a bright note, Disney Plus has released Frozen 2 3 months early on their streaming service, so that has been like a beacon of light in this self-quarantine atmosphere. Andrew and I rewatched it last night and it's so good. Moving on to some other news, some more book-related news, and then I'll probably get into more Hollywood stuff a little bit later. First of all, a couple of alternate cover kind of things. A lot of you in recent videos have asked me where I got those very colorful Harry Potter set, and I got it from a company called Nerdy Ink. They did a release of these before Christmas. There was like a pre-order for it. I think I ordered it in like October or November. Unfortunately, they're sold out at the moment. They were really like pre-order only, but they currently have a set up for pre-order to recover the Throne of Glass series. I already pre-ordered a copy of those because I'm so happy with the Harry Potter ones, and I definitely don't want to miss the Throne of Glass ones. They're just gorgeous. Here's a look at the first cover of the Throne of Glass ones. They don't actually reveal what every single book is going to look like, but they just give you a taste with like the first one, and then probably a little bit closer to when they'll be released, they'll at least show you like the spines. Judging on how much I love these, I have no doubt that I'm gonna love the Throne of Glass ones. Also, Juniper Books has released new covers for the Wheel of Time series. So after I spent all of last summer like collecting all of my beautiful hardcovers of the Wheel of Time, now you can just easily buy them all in one go from Juniper Books with a really beautiful spine illustration. Personally, I like my original copies better than the Juniper Books ones just because the spines are really pretty, but there's like nothing really much going on the covers, and every single one of them looks the same. And I also personally just really like campier old fantasy covers. I think those just appeal to me a lot more. I really like the original ones that I have. Next, we found out that the title of An Ember in the Ashes 4 is going to be called A Sky Beyond Storm. So this is the fourth and final installment in the An Ember in the Ashes series. The first book came out so long ago, so I feel like this series is going to need a reread before that final book comes out. We also found out that the release date is going to be December 1st, so I'm quite excited for that. Then we got a cover reveal for Well Played by Jen DeLuca. This is the second book after Well Met. It's a companion to the first book that was set at the Renaissance Fair, which was one of my favorite romances that I've ever read, and I'm so highly anticipating the second book. I cannot wait to get back to that Ren Fair atmosphere, and I think that this one is so beautiful and perfectly in line with the first one. I'm really hoping that the third cover will be pink. Then we got a title reveal for the second book in the Wicked Fox duology. So the second book by Kat Cho is going to be called Vicious Spirits. We don't actually have a cover just yet, but I'm confident that it should be coming pretty soon. Then I have a little bit of mixed news on the new Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. So the first book in the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy, which is called Chaos Rising, almost like Chaos Walking because of Patrick Ness, is supposed to be released in early May, but it's gotten pushed back. It's now going to be released in October of 2020. But on the bright side, they're doing something really different and really beautiful with this book. Del Rey is actually going to be publishing it, and all of them are going to have sprayed blue pages, which is a major selling point for me. I mean, I was gonna get it anyway because Star Wars, but I really love when there are sprayed pages, and I think that these pale blue ones are really beautiful because a lot of times they tend to do like red or black. You don't really get too many other colors, so I'm really digging this blue. Then DC Comics announced a new original graphic novel called Victor and Nora. I am so excited about this one. They're calling it a Gotham love story. It's following Mr. Freeze and his lost love, Nora, and oh my god, I just can't even imagine how I'm gonna feel reading this, but I'm so excited for it. And it's going to be written by Lauren Miracle with art by Isaac Goodhart, and they are actually the same team that did the Catwoman original graphic graphic novel. I think it was called Under the Moon. And this one's going to be coming out on November 3rd. And speaking of DC Comics, Laurie Halse Anderson is actually going to be writing a Wonder Woman comic, and that's going to be an original graphic novel as well. So it's going to be reimagining Diana's origin. She's going to be on Themyscira, and it's going to be like the eve of her 16th birthday, and all of these refugees are washing up, and she wants to help them, but obviously the Amazonians are not on board for that. So Diana kind of defies them and tries to help the refugees, but then she gets stranded in the middle of the ocean, and she's cut off from everything that she's ever known. I also think the cover is really interesting for this one. It's definitely a lot darker than we ever see for Wonder Woman. Usually we get like the bright red and the bright blue, and this is definitely like darker tones because you can tell it's going to be kind of a darker story. Next, Harper Voyager announced a new fantasy anthology that's called The Book of Dragons. This is going to be coming on July 7th, and it's going to include short stories from a whole bunch of amazing authors, including Garth Nix, Scott Lynch, Anne Leckie, Peter S. Beagle, and more, and it's also going to be illustrated by Rovina Kai. Next, we got some news that I am really excited about, and it's relating to the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman. I actually have a tattoo because I love the Sandman series so much. There have been whisperings of a Sandman adaptation for so many years now, like years and years and years, but now we're finally getting closer to it actually coming to fruition. It's going to be on Netflix and everything, but in advance of the adaptation, it's been announced that Audible is going to be producing an Audible original, and it's going to be an audio drama that's narrated by Neil Gaiman. It's based on the first volume of the series, which is called Preludes and Nocturnes. This is going to be a multi-part audio drama, and it's going to be coming in this summer. Then we got both the US and the UK cover reveals for the illustrated editions of Quidditch Through the Ages by J.K. Rowling. I personally think the UK one is like a million times better than the US cover. It's so vibrant and beautiful, and the US one is quite honestly kind of boring. And this is going to be releasing on October 6th. Then it was announced that Love Boat Taipei is going to be adapted, and it's going to be done by Ace Entertainment, which is the same company that adapted To All the Boys I've Loved Before. There's no release date at the moment, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated as we learn more. Then we got some really big news, I would say, because we found out that the Love, Simon spinoff, which is called Love, Victor, is not going to be on Disney Plus anymore. It's actually moving over to Hulu. So initially people were really upset about this because they didn't know if it was Disney trying to keep a gay-centric story off of their streaming service. But both Disney and Becky Albertalli, who is the writer of Love, Simon, have promised that that is not the case. The reason that Disney didn't feel comfortable having it on their streaming service is because it included a lot more adult themes than they feel comfortable with, including things like alcohol abuse, marital issues, and sexual exploration. So these are all things that are not necessarily the most family friendly. And in order to do this story justice, they thought it would be better to move it over to Hulu. And it's also actually already been renewed for a second season. It's going to be debuting during Pride Month in June, and the first season is going to be a total of 10 episodes. And then on the heels of that news, if you haven't heard, there's been some hiccups with Lizzie McGuire. Hilary Duff took to Instagram basically begging Disney to please let the Lizzie McGuire reboot also move over to Hulu because they're also facing issues trying to show all of the things that they want to show and what would actually be true to Lizzie's story. So hopefully that will happen too, but Disney Plus is also going to need to fill the void because there are definitely people that signed up because they were excited for these two shows, and now both of them are kind of getting pulled. So then we got a new poster and a look at all of the members of the Babysitters Club for the Netflix adaptation. I think it looks absolutely amazing, and I really love that the poster that they did totally recreated the cover of Christie's Great Idea, which is the first book in the Babysitters Club series. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. There's no release date just yet, but I'm so highly anticipating this one. Then we got a cover reveal for Alex E. Harrow's next book, which is called The Once and Future Witches. It's so beautiful, and I think it fits really nicely with her first book too. Not that they're related at all, but I really like when authors have covers that kind of go with one another. Then we got a cover for The Boundless, which is the second book in the Beholder series by Anna Bright. I think this one is so beautiful. I really love the cover of the first book in the series, and this one definitely lives up to my expectations for the next one. We also got the cover reveal for Conquest by Sam Maggs. This is a middle grade novel, and it takes place at a convention, and it's all about kind of being yourself and, you know, finding friends, and it sounds like it's going to be super cute. And we got the cover for the third book in the Furyborn series by Claire Legrand. This third one is called Lightbringer, and unfortunately I didn't like the first book, so I ended up not reading the second one, and I'm obviously not going to read the third one, but I know a lot of people are very excited for it. I really wish I liked it. I think the covers are stunning, but unfortunately it's just not for me. Then some news that I personally am really sad about. The Magicians on Sci-Fi is going to be ending with its current season, which is season 5. I have loved the adaptation of The Magicians so much. Like, I really look forward to binging all of those episodes every time that a new season drops on Netflix. It's kind of become tradition that Andrew and I binge them all on like New Year's Eve. I just think that they've taken the story in such an interesting direction, and I actually much prefer the television series to the trilogy of books, which is so rare. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end, and I'm really sad to see it go, but I am really glad that it had quite a long run. It's definitely better to end a show before it feels like it's dragging on too long, so it's going to be going out on a high note, which I do appreciate, but still sad. Then this is a little bit of older news, but I realized that I hadn't actually mentioned it in a video yet. So The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee is going to be adapted, and they've now announced that it's going to be on HBO Max, which launches in May of 2020. It's being adapted by Greg Berlanti, who I really love. He works on so many of like the DC superhero shows, and I just think that he's a really great showrunner, so I feel like it's going to be in very good hands. Right now there's no release date, but I'll keep you updated. Then Darren Star, who's the creator of Younger and Sex and the City, is working on a new TV series. This one's called Emily in Paris, and I'm so excited for it. It's starring Lily Collins, and she is a 20-something-year-old who is from the Midwest, and then she gets offered basically the opportunity of a lifetime, and she moves to Paris to take a job, and it just sounds like it's gonna be so good. And I know that Ashley Park is in it too, who is a Broadway star that I really enjoy, so I'm really looking forward to this series. Next, Disney Plus is working on a prequel series to Beauty and the Beast that's going to be focusing on Gaston and LeFou. So it's going to be starring Luke Evans and Josh Gad. It's going to be a musical, and it is also going to be written by one of the writers who worked on Once Upon a Time. And I'm pretty excited to see what they're going to do with this. I don't think that the live action adaptation of Beauty and the Beast was the best. I really enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't as good as the original, obviously, but I'm really excited to see them kind of explore these characters more in depth, and I'm totally on board for it. Then the live action Peter Pan film has found its Wendy and its Peter Pan. They will be played by Alexander Maloney and Ever Anderson, and I am so looking forward to this adaptation. Then the universe of The Dragon Prince is expanding. We have 3 new books that are coming set in the same world. Supposedly these books will enhance what we already know and also foreshadow what is to come in season 4. The first book, which is actually out already, is called Callum's Spellbook, and this is pretty much Callum's in-world journal. Next, we're getting Book 1 Moon, which is a novelization of the first season of the series, and this one's coming out on June 2nd. And then lastly, we are getting a graphic novel called Through the Moon, and this is going to be the first thing that's like new canon. It follows the events that occurred in season 3 of The Dragon Prince, and this one's going to be coming out on September 15th. We also got a new trailer for Artemis Fowl, which is an adaptation of the beloved children's series. I've actually never read the series. My brother really liked them when we were younger, but now that I'm almost getting caught up on Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I'm caught up on Victoria Schwab's middle grade series and Catherine Arden's middle grade series, I feel like this might be something that I end up checking out as a new middle grade series, and the movie adaptation is going to be hitting theaters on May 29th. Then Disneyland announced that Avengers Campus will be opening in August, on August 23rd to be more exact. As always, I'm really excited about the dessert that they're promoting here, and also Web Slingers, because that's going to be an interactive, story-driven Spider-Man ride, which Spider-Man's my favorite. And I also think it'll be really awesome just to see Avengers HQ in person. Like, I can't even imagine. And then lastly, Marvel is going to be bringing back the Silk comic. So it's going to be written by Maureen Gu with art by Takeshi Miyazawa. And I'm really excited for this. I actually haven't read the original Silk comics, but I currently have them in my Amazon cart. I think I'm gonna check out soon because I've heard nothing but really great things about the series. And Cindy Moon will be back working under J. Jonah Jameson Jameson, and I'm really excited. I'm really glad that they're bringing her back. Silk is a Korean American superhero, in case you're not familiar with her, but I've just heard, honestly, like the best things, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet. And then lastly, I just want to make mention that Star Wars finally revealed what Project Luminous is. It's going to be Star Wars The High Republic, and I made a separate news video a couple of weeks ago just dedicated to talking about what that was, because it was way too in-depth to go into in a news video with a lot of other things going on. So I'll leave that link down below in case you want to watch it. But that's all that I have for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you are most excited about. I feel like this video was very comics heavy, which I love comics, so I was really excited about finding all of these things. So I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!